Curse of Chucky is finally here. Just a warning, this review will contain spoilers. So if you don't want to know what happens, don't continue any further. The film opens with our protagonist, Nika, played by Fiona Dorff, receiving a doll, Chucky, looking like he did in the first three films. Sarah, Nika's mother, throws the doll in the trash, but Nika finds Sarah dead from the parents' suicide. But we all know what really happened. Nika's sister Barb, her husband Ian, their daughter Alice, and their nanny Jill, along with Father Frank, arrive at the house to settle their mother's affairs. Alice finds Chucky and starts to play with him. Eventually, dinner is fixed, and Chucky pours rat poison into one of the bowls of chili. This is a great example of effective suspense in the film. It leaves you hanging on the edge of your seat, which is what any suspenseful scene in a horror film should do. Father Frank ends up being poisoned and crashes his car. The police arrive, and while trying to get him out of the car, they accidentally decapitate him. Chucky later electrocutes Jill while she is on her laptop. While Barb is looking for Alice, Barb discovers that Chucky has a knife and peels plastic off Chucky's face to reveal his familiar stitched-up appearance. Chucky then reveals himself and stabs Barb in the eye, which is a great gore effect. Nika, who discovers who Chucky is, wakes Ian up after realizing that everyone is dying. Ian tapes Nika up, believing she committed the murders. Chucky then hacks off Ian's jaw with an axe, which is another great gore effect. Chucky pushes Nika off the balcony. Chucky reveals that he was an old friend of the family when he was Charles Lee Ray. We see a flashback and see Brad Dourif playing a live-action Charles Lee Ray, which is really cool. Charles was in love with Sarah and kidnapped her. When Sarah rejects him, Charles stabs a pregnant Sarah in the stomach, which is why Nika is a paraplegic. Chucky and Nika battle, which ends with Nika stabbing Chucky in the back. The police arrive on the scene, and Nika is sent to an asylum as the judge finds her guilty of the murders. A corrupt police officer takes a still-alive Chucky to a police car. Suddenly, Tiffany, still possessing the body of Jennifer Tilly, pops up and slits his throat. She then mails him to his next victim. We see Alice, who is now living with her grandmother, run into Chucky, who plays Hide the Soul with her. As Chucky is saying the chant, we see Alice's grandmother with a bag over her head. In a post-credits scene, Chucky is mailed to a now grown-up Annie Barkley, played once again by Alex Vincent. Annie suddenly holds a shotgun to Chucky's head and shoots him, in the movie. This is an awesome movie. It has great gore, great suspense, great acting. It's just great. It has none of the campiness from Bride or Seed, so horror purists should love it. And while I did love Bride and Seed, it was time to go back to straight horror. This is a great horror movie. I highly recommend it. Next review is A Few Simpsons Games.